got Steven here. I'm going to go over quick the Kimura we're going to do Tuesday. A lot of people seem to have good luck with it when we did it on Friday with Key, and I just want to touch on a couple of finer points. So Steven, you want to go and lay out this way? So a couple of things on the series that I figured out that we can apply no-gi is one, when I'm peeling Steven's arm off, I want to make sure that I peel it and I go straight to the mat. After I peel the arm off, I'm going to come in front and I'm going to stick this arm under, or excuse me, over the top and get the control. That's when I'm going to swim this one under and get my other control. Now before I actually go for the finish, I want to make this motion with my hands. I want to take all the slack out of my wrist. So I'm going to curl both of them down. This will happen over and over in this series. So I get my grip, I keep nice downward pressure on Steven, I curl my wrists, put the back of his wrist back on the mat, and then I suck it towards his hips. Sometimes that will be enough to get a guy to tap. If I just suck it in, and if he's not tapping it, that's when I'm going to elevate. But the key is to make sure that I get the wrist curled, bring it into his body, and then come down with it. That's the only time you're going to elevate. Okay? Next one is if Steven goes straight out. Steven's straight out now to defend from my Americana. I got to chase this arm down now. So I'm coming out. I'm going to dip my head, go along the arm, and come under. Now one thing we figured out was I like to close my elbows in here and make sure that I get this thumb pointed straight up and down. If you're going for the variation where you come up on knee on belly this way, you might not want to close the elbows down as far because you need that space to post out in case he starts lifting this direction to go over his head. If I've got my elbows closed down, it's a little harder to defend. But if I'm staying on top and I'm keeping good downward chest pressure, I get my curl in his wrist, I curl both my wrists down again to get his arm at the angle I want, straighten it out, and that's when I'm going to go for the finish. And the finish, I'm just taking the space away that his elbow existed. So I'm curling the wrist, taking the space away. Now Steven's going to go ahead and defend by going to his belt in the typical way. So now I'm stuck, right? He's got my arm already. I want to finish this Kimura. So one way to finish it, a lot of guys come from the belly, they go, Casey Katame, and then step over, and that's their finish. I actually like to go more extreme if he'll let me. If I can grab this, I want to pull up on this arm. I want to sit all the way up into it, control the arm, put the hand on the side of the head to shove his head down, and then I'm going to turn and just sit right on Steven's ear. And Steven's number one defense here is one, going to be keeping the hand to the inside of the leg. We'll deal with that in a minute. His other secondary defense is to get his shoulder back on the mat. Well, by sitting on his head and forcing his chin this direction, he can't turn his shoulders down to the mat. And I'm also pinching with my legs. It's very hard for him to escape. So from here, I'm going to grab my own gi to keep the arm secure. From there, in order to get the switch, I'm going to put the other arm in and get the control. Now I've got my control for the Kimura. So now I just keep it tight to the chest. I'm going to get it in position. And I'm going to do the same curl of my wrist. Notice each time I grab, I go thumb on the same side of my wrist, the same side of his arm. I never grab it like a baseball bat. So I'm here, I go for the grab here and here. Steven defends by grabbing the belt. In order to free his arm from the belt, I'm just going to sit up nice and tall, keep it into my chest. And now here's the trick on this finish. I don't want to try and finish it all the way out here in space. He can move his arm a lot further. I want to keep it sucked into my chest, and I'm going to sit back down and force his hand behind his own back. Then I'm going to turn for my finish. Okay, that's all you got to do. If he grabs the inside of the leg, which is really common if a guy can't find his belt, just keep it into the chest and sit back up. Nice posture, eye to the sky, curl the wrists, down behind the back, and then the rotation. That's it. Couldn't find a video that showed it just the way I like, so decided to make one. Hope that helps somebody.